Good afternoon, happy Sunday, and welcome to another episode of Coffee and Rosaries with Father Pat, January 29th, 2023. First of all, my apologies for a later than usual homily. This morning, I just drove back from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Those of you that don't know where I live, I will give you a hint. I can look out the window just beyond the camera on this computer and see the New York skyline very clearly. And I was in Atlantic City again this year for the Action Martial Arts Hall of Fame, the one location where I did a remote homily last year. And this Hall of Fame expo and martial arts competition is truly wonderful. It is a testament to Sifu Alan Goldberg and all the effort he puts into it and his love of martial arts. And a special thank you to Master Fabio Bevilacqua, who, it was announced a few weeks ago that I'm being inducted into the Spartan Martial Arts Hall of Fame. A wonderful person. To Master Stephen Hayes, who was knighted into the Order of the Redemption, a Templar knighthood. And also to a dear friend, always, Master David Fury. You are an amazing person, always reaching out to others and helping others, even when you are in need. I'm blessed to know all of you, and to all the many other martial artists who I don't get to see except in movies or on social media. Just wonderful, wonderful to see all of you again. And I say again, as I said last year, what they do is truly a gift from God, because what's the best part of their martial arts careers? They love to teach, they love to give, they love to bring out the best in people, physically, spiritually, morally. Okay, they like making people better. And if that is not the work of God, what is? So to all of them, for all of you doing God's work out there, all of you martial artists, God bless you and thank you for all that you do. Now, today's gospel is a very familiar one. We've heard some of these words before. Let's take a look at them, because there's lots of misconceptions when people say certain things. So, Christ was preaching to the multitudes. Now, what did he say? He said, "Blessed are the meek." Now, meek is often misinterpreted. It does mean patient, humble, and gentle. Okay? So, three very, very good qualities. Believe me, one thing we do need in this world is a lot more patience. We need to be patient with people because we don't know what they're going through. They can have a bad day. They can snap at you. They can have a problem performing a job that, at work, that they've done thousands of times. But sometimes they may be going through a lot. Be patient with them. There are some friends in my life that say that, they want to withdraw. They want to be with themselves. They don't want to talk to anybody for a little bit. They're having a rough time. May God grant their soul strength for whatever they may be going through. But I say that, you know what? Well, you know what? I will pray for you. And whenever you are ready, you want to talk about whatever is troubling you, you want to just talk about anything, then I will be there and I will wait patiently. I will admit sometimes patience is not an easy thing to have. What's that prayer? Oh Lord, grant me patience and give it to me right now. I really need it. No. Patience is truly something wonderful. Also, gentleness. Now, I will say that being amongst a multitude of martial artists this past weekend, they are very gentle people, good, kind, and gentle people. I mean, to see a casino overrun with basically a small fighting army, but a very polite one. They're gentle, they're polite with others. Many of them realize that martial arts is more about personal development, personal improvement. And many of them have nothing to prove to anybody, so they can be gentle. Meek also means humble. Now, let's take a look at humble for a couple minutes, because humble can be misinterpreted. Now, we know that pride is one of the 7 deadly sins. We know that pride cometh before the fall. Pride is not a good thing. Be humble. Now, I will tell you that one time a friend asked me for some help on the computer. He was learning how to use Microsoft PowerPoint. He said, "Can you help me?" I said, "Yes, I'll help you." I didn't say, "I'm the greatest. I will do a better job than anybody else can do. I know more about PowerPoint, Microsoft PowerPoint, than anybody else does." No, I didn't say that. I just said, "Yes, I will help you." I said it in humility. Okay, so it's okay to be confident in what you can do, but also be humble in it too. I've asked people for help, and they'll say, "Yes, I can do that for you." And they will say it in a humble and non-prideful way. And that's wonderful. Okay? It's okay to know what you can do. It's okay to know that you can help others. But you can do so in a gentle and kind manner. Now, also, we talk about those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. Now, righteousness and justice. Again, look around us in the world. There is a lot going on that we are just not happy with. We hunger for it. We thirst for it. We want to see goodness and justice triumph over evil. Okay, we want that in our hearts and souls. We want good for other people. So you know what we do? We do whatever we can. Sometimes the best we can do, and it does a lot of good. We pray. So pray to God for righteousness and justice in this world. Okay, wanting good for other people. Blessed are the merciful. Sometimes it is difficult to show mercy to others. And I see it all the time. People make a mistake. People do something wrong. Sometimes people take a wrong turn in life. Sometimes people hurt you. And when you're hurt, what do? You want to hurt back. Maybe not the greatest example, but I saw some people fighting to get on an elevator. There was a long line at some of the elevators at the casino that I was at this past weekend. And there was an argument. It was an older couple. There were some younger people. The younger people got on the elevator, pointing their finger, saying mean things to the older couple. And the gentleman said some things back. And I told him, you know what? Pray for them. Sometimes I'm not even sure why the inspiration for the words. And then again, sometimes I know who's telling me to say these things. Show mercy on them. Okay, maybe they're having a bad day. Maybe they made a mistake. Show mercy on them in the hope that mercy will be shown to you when you need it. Okay? And again, it's not easy to do. A lot of people are unkind to us. A lot of people hurt us. A lot of people knowingly hurt us. It takes a lot to show mercy. But remember, what we do send out, we do receive in return. The clean of heart. Blessed are those who are the clean of heart. Now, I will say that, again, we try to follow God's teachings, the word of Christ, as best we can. We try to keep our heart and our minds free of sin. Because remember, sometimes even when we sin in our minds and in our hearts, that's just as bad as actually committing the sin. It's not easy to do. Sometimes you may wish something hurtful on a person. You may want revenge. You may want to physically cause them pain. And that is a sin. It is a sin to want that from for other people. I watch the way some of the ladies dress in public these days. And, when some people look at them and what they may think, it's not a bad thing to notice that a person is beautiful, but it's another thing to, in your heart, think about sinful thoughts involving that person. I will say I follow this one young lady. We became Facebook friends, and right now she's in a breaking competition. And I will tell you, when I look at her, I see a wonderful young person, and I cannot help but notice that she has a beautiful smile. It's not a bad thing to notice that. She's a nice friend to have. Yes, Morella, that's for you. You're a great person, and I'm glad to know you. Yeah. I know that she is a beautiful person. I do not think lurid thoughts about her. That's where it becomes a sin. So try to keep your heart clean. And I will say in Atlantic City, kind of hard to keep your heart clean. I mean, I go down there. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't gamble. Okay, I drink very rarely. I think this month I did have a drink. Yeah, one whole drink. But it's very, very difficult to have a clean heart in certain places. So you know what? Maybe you might want to minimize being in certain places. If you want to have a clean heart, be careful whose company you keep. They may not have a clean heart, and they may cause you to have the same. Blessed are the peacemakers. I hear all this talk about war, about weapons being sent all over the world, about tanks, about nuclear weapons. Everybody is talking about war. Very few people are talking about peace. Very few people are saying, you know, in certain conflicts in certain parts of the world, let's get the two sides to sit down together. You know, let's try to make peace. Both sides may end up just storming out of the place. No common ground. But at least we tried. And we have to try over and over and over again. Okay? Because unfortunately, in conflict and in war, well, there are some people that may want to start a war, but they're comfortable at home, shielded, protected. But those they send into war, men and women, it's their lives that will be lost. We should do all we can to avoid conflict, to avoid that life being lost. And blessed are those who are persecuted for their faith. You know, I've never seen a time in my life where trying to do the right thing is reviled in the way that it is. You know, as many of you know, I am a retired school teacher. And I am polite and I am kind to my students. And they see that as weakness. They see that as open season on the big guy because, well, I don't know, maybe they have something to prove. They think it's cool. But doing the right thing, like charity, like kindness. Some people will even make fun of you for attending church service every week. They will make fun of you or they will persecute you for serving God, and in doing so, serving your fellow man, woman, and child. You know what? Let them persecute me for that. Let me go on and do the right thing. You want to laugh at me because I choose to serve God and to live my life a certain way? Bring it on. Okay? Bring it on. God will see the good that you do in being faithful to Him and in serving those around you, protecting those around you, being kind, being merciful, being patient with those around you. And your reward will be in heaven. People want to make fun of you for being a person like that? Good. Do the right thing. Be strong. You know, I will say a little bit of a final note that walking around a casino in Atlantic City dressed like, well, you know, does catch a few people's attention. I got a few looks. But you know what? Does it remind people of God, of their faith? Then good. Then maybe I should walk around that casino more often dressed like this. I was coming down an escalator and some young ladies were going up the escalator next to me. And one young woman who I had no idea who she was goes, "Yoo-hoo, hi," and she's waving a bottle of wine at me. Is that a persecution of me for my faith, for my beliefs? Yes. You know what? I took it as a compliment. I smiled and waved and said, "Have a nice day." Okay? We will be persecuted for our faith in ways large and small. Just means we are on the right track. Went a little bit long today, but I wanted to talk about this gospel. It's very specific. It tells us how we should be living our lives. Take your time, read through it, and just look up the words and get a deeper understanding of what we are instructed to do. You will be a better person for it. So for today, January 29th, 2023, this is Father Pat Contrera with Coffee and Rosaries. As always, love one another as God loves you.